Hi, I'm Matt from HockeyReviews.ca, and this is the Warrior Alpha QX and Alpha QX Pro glove reviews. So first of all, thank you for Warrior for selecting me to be a VIP to review these gloves. This is the condensed version of the review. There is a longer one that will be linked at the end of the video and the description. There's also some fit comparisons of these, which will also be in the description, so check those out if you're curious. As for the review itself, the gloves are fairly similar. I do go over some differences in another video, but because I feel they're so similar, I'm going to review them together. I will touch over the differences. Now, for the gloves themselves, Warrior sought out to make an extremely flexible glove right out of the box with that butter soft feel, as they call it. Now, these gloves are ridiculously flexible. These are the most broken in gloves out of the box, so I give them full credit for that because it's like these feel amazing off the shelf. Now, with that said, I feel that they sacrifice some protection with that. When you close your hands, you can kind of push straight down into and touch your finger, like in your bone, which is a little interesting. And as well as you can stick sticks through, like into the gaps. So that's how low that stick goes. And it happens on these gaps as well, where they actually go in between the gaps of the glove. So if you do get slashed there, like that is a little questionable for me. I wish the thumbs were a bit more protective as well. Right here is good, but I think that part is a little lacking, as well as right up here. But this part is pretty good. Fingers are good on the top. The backhand's good on the top, except when you get in those breaks. The cuff here, I wish there with this spandex gusset here, I wish there was a little more padding there and all the way on the side, as well as I think the flex cuff doesn't do enough. I was really hoping it was like this flex cuff where it would move with your wrists a lot more. Now I understand it's a hybrid flex cuff and not this flex cuff that's on here, but with that said, I did wish this would add more protection and actually move with your wrist. But when it's on, it doesn't really move. It stays pretty put. As for four-roll fits, to me it fits like a pretty traditional four-roll. It's pretty wide and big. The 15s are pretty loose on me. I like the feel of a 14 more. It feels tighter on my hands, but the fingers just aren't quite long enough, which I can kind of show right here. My fingers come out the ends. Whereas a 15 and a QRL fit me great. The other area on the 15 is that this feels like there's not that there's extra material, but because it feels so big, it's almost sloppy. So when I would ever take my hand off my stick, I had a bit of like collision going on when trying to put it back on. That never happened with the 14s. But again, that you don't get that. For me, you don't get the finger length, and the cuff length as well ends up being a little short for my elbow pads on the 14s. As for the palms, I like the Pro palms better. I like this like Nash better. All this wear wasn't from me. It was from players that use actual hockey tape. I use like butt ends, Tacky Mac, Sniper Skin, and grip skin, stuff like that. I use that stuff instead of tape. So that wear isn't actually from me, but from tape. Now, the wear on the Pro is straight up through the stick itself. So as you can see, a little zooming in there. Now that is a little bit more wear than I would be thrilled with. That's pretty similar to how my old DT1s wore on the palms. Now, if this material is anything like my covert gloves, hopefully this will show up because it's on black, it's kind of tough. That wear won't really get worse. It kind of wears to like this stage and then it doesn't really get worse. I don't think there's a huge benefit to this type of grip. I just like the standard Pro version on this. The flex thumbs are getting better and more flexible, so I give Warrior props there, but it's still not as good as some other flex thumbs. It is much more flexible than on my covert though, so improvement there. Basically, this glove is, and finally, just for the aesthetics, I think they look pretty good. Some people don't like the window. I like the Pro styling a bit more. The colorways on these are pretty great. I do like the different materials. I think it looks kind of interesting. Some people don't like that, but I kind of like that different aspect. As you can see, the different materials are quite evident on the Pro. And here you got the like leather type material. For me, these gloves are ridiculously soft and comfortable. If that's what you're looking in a 4-roll, these could be for you. But for me, the protection just kind of isn't there for me, as well as the fit. With that, these QRLs are one of my go-to gloves and will stay that, while these QXs will be kind of put into shooting gloves off the ice. Or when I coach, I'll wear them, or like really relaxed shinny without equipment. I'll wear these happily for that. But just because of the protection concerns on my end, these aren't really the glove for me. The one thing is, I always found Warrior gloves kind of play a little bit hot. And I think that's kind of true with these ones. The QXs are a bit better because they have stretch gussets, as you can see there. And that lets air flow a little bit better than the non-stretch gussets here. I perhaps prefer a mesh here or the stretch gussets, but again, this is the step below and this is the top end models. Warrior did do a good job upgrading protection on the outside. The fingers right here could be a little bit better. And over here are pretty decent, but I think the Pro does a better job on the index finger here. It's a little bit thicker padding, whereas the padding here is pretty soft and like squishable. Like you can really squish it in, where this one doesn't squish as much. I think that about sums it up for these gloves. If you have any questions, leave them below. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I would recommend if you're looking for a 4-roll that's really soft and you don't like breaking in gloves. But if you're looking for protection, I might look at another pair of gloves. Perhaps even try out the QRLs, give them a shot, because I think they're fantastic. And if you don't like the cuff, you could always cut the cuff, and so it just has a top like that. Or the QRL 3s don't have the cuff that floats like this. So that's always an option. So again, thank you very much for watching. The written review will show up in the description below and on hockeyreviews.ca when it's done. And that's about it. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter, links in the description below and after this video. Take it easy.